This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, but the star of today's show is you, the pit crew, because we're here for today's edition of the Pit Stop. And I'm still a little under the weather, still trying to catch up on things after being sick, but we are here streaming this morning, and we are here to say hello to all of you and just talk about sim racing stuff going on. And we do have a little bit to talk about. I want to apologize, and my Twitch followers can't be watching right now because the stream is still not going to Twitch. And that's one of the reasons we're a little late this morning. I thought I had it all set up once again, and I often wonder, with the new face, the new vibe of the Simpit, I often let you guys know some of the problems I have as well as some of the successes. And this is another one of those problem ones, so I apologize for that. We will get that sorted out by tomorrow, but whole live streaming thing always leaves something to be desired, or some stone that you didn't turn over in your preparations to get things going. So anyway, that's my, we'll call that a little Sean mini rant on myself. Today's rant, brought to you by the Simpit, is Sean and his shortcomings from time to time. But anyway, you stick with me and we have fun talking the sim racing news anyway. So what do we got going on today? Need for Speed. We know they've been making moves with Need for Speed, and the M3 is back, and it could be parked somewhere you've been before. So again, it's like those garage find kind of things. Random cars just out there in the open world environment now. They're saying this one might be where it is. But again, what's cool is what we're seeing is the increased amount of talk coming out of EA about Need for Speed. So they're kind of getting their wheels back under them, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Next up, we talked about it, but look, this sure looks like an actual render. So this is Renault Sport F1 with a rendered edition. That's not a real car spinning in a magic gray room. And so, again, this is at the F1 2017, and I wonder who supplied them their render. I wonder if there's any correlation between the two. But we are seeing all of the new F1 2018 cars that we'll be driving. A self-rant, exactly. Let's see, next up, Project Cars 2. I had two stories. Number one, oh, I know why, because I was looking for something else. Sorry about that. There we go, Sean. Anyway, tonight at 6 p.m. GMT is when they're going to be airing their ACR Triple Threat Tuesday. So if you want to get out there and see Season 2 Round 6 and see some top-end project cars, I know it makes good background entertainment. I've been occupied with the Olympics this week with that as background entertainment, but just the same, I wouldn't mind a good sim racing running on in the background while I carry on with other things in life. So if you're looking for some quality sim racing to watch, you can check that out. Go to the Project Cars Twitter feed. Tomorrow is the big day. So tomorrow we're, 24 hours and 55 minutes away from the big announcement out of Kunos with Assetto Corsa. And the big guesses by the community, is it going to be Assetto Corsa 2? Is it going to be a new title altogether? Or is it perhaps going to be Assetto Competizione in some kind of online competition ranking system? I don't know. I can't wait. I'm very eagerly anticipating to see what's coming out of them. Maybe Assetto Corsa is going after some of the iRacing market. Maybe that's what Competizione is. We will find out tomorrow. So you'll be able to find out sooner than I'll be able to get it on the show. That's 1 hour from now. Tomorrow is the exact time that announcement will go out. Next up, the guys at Dakar Rally have provided another teaser photo. I saw someone in the chat say, man, I really hope they're going to have wheel support. See somebody asking. I believe Spatial, if I'm not mistaken, NFS did not have wheel support. But I have to confess, I've never played that version of the game. Assetto Corsa Esports. Yes, that could be it. I hope it's open, though. I hope it's open to all kind of thing. The Alfa Romeo Sauber presentation. Cool. Yeah, a lot of these are coming out, and we're going to keep seeing them at F1 2017. I mean, again, these are the guys who own the license. These are the guys who are going to... Oh, here's the Alfa. Oh, we can... There it is. Well, there's Heritage of Alfa. There is the Alfa. All right, moving along. Sorry. So lots of new liveries if you're a Formula One fan. Competizione. Is that better, Luca? All right. Seto, we got the date. Dakar, we got the new photo. Oh, so that's where we were. So the new photo is from Topiza, Bolivia to Salta, Argentina. So obviously, as we saw from the Peru shot yesterday, that this is going to go well beyond just the Dakar Rally, which is exciting. And let's hope. It's hard to get details out of them. I've contacted them. They've said not just yet, but they're interested. They're going to go more public soon. Next topic. Okay, this is just my placeholder as a reminder. Here we go. Spatial, this is for you. At some point, I did mention the 1.4 update to Project Cars 2. But I did not get out there and try it. And I've talked to not only Spatial Dragon here, but a few other people. And I know I mentioned it when it came out, but it was just one of those topics we blew right through. And I actually have a couple of these that I want to bring up and just give you. But if you didn't check out, the Project Cars 2 update 1.4 was actually a really huge one. And some of the guys on the Patreon group were talking about, on Discord, we're talking about the changes in AI and some of the other things. But it was a huge update. If you just look through the update list, cars, tracks, handling changes, gameplay, the list goes on and on. This whole section here is just improvements to the AI. So it was a huge, it was 11.1 gigabytes, I believe, the update size. And it was a massive monster update that was significant enough that if you tried and drove Project Cars, you might want to try doing it again just to see if those improvements have made a big deal, and I've heard they have. So, oh, getting interruptions. Is that news? Only if you want Olympic news. Next up. Actually, we're here. Just a heads up, and I say this for me and I say this for you. If you're in Europe, mark these dates. Sim Racing Expo, which is growing each and every year. You want to go watch a cool real-life race and simultaneously hang out with sim racers and try some cool sim racing products, you are going to want to go to Nürburgring, Germany. There's Mitchell de Jong. September 14th through 16th. Look at that. Slot cars. RC cars. Sim racing. Sim racing. Sim racing. Anyway, it's going to be fun. I am somehow, some way going to try to get my way there. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off, but I would like to get there. I've always wanted to, but it keeps getting bigger and bigger. So maybe this is the year that I'll get there. If not, if you're in Europe, you got to get there yourself. Next up, and I'm always torn, and you guys help me with your opinion on things, but Jimmy Broadband's another, you could call him a competitor. You could call him a co-creator in the world of sim racing. Jimmy Broadband did a video out, and this actually got a write-up at Drive Mag about him breaking the 4-minute mark at Nürburgring. So you can check out that article, or you can go check out his video. And when I say I'm torn, I'm always torn on who and when to promote. Like Billy Strange, I don't know if you're here. Billy's got a channel, but Billy is also a huge contributor to our community here, part of our gang. So I never mind. Dan, Racing Simulations, are you here? Same thing. He's a big contributor and helps out with our community, and he has a channel. I feel like we have a cool, we're in the same group. William from Sim Racing Paddock even comes in from time and time. But I don't know how I feel about promoting guys who I really have very, very little contact with, and not for any bad reason. I just don't happen to have any contact or relationship with Jimmy Broadband. But anyway, I talk about that today, and I think I have another story relevant to my thinking, and I'd love your guys' thought. Where's the line? I mean, I want it to be the more the merrier. And as Billy says, you know, we all have different things we bring to the table. So we're not as in competition as much as we are just finding our own way. So, but yeah, anyway, that's my thought there. Another, Compost Racing. This is a team out of Spain. A real-life team has now created their esport team. So we're seeing more and more of this. We're seeing it in a bunch of different directions, whether you're talking about company sponsors getting involved, you know, your Intels, your Dells, etc. Whether you're talking about your Formula One as an organization or team specific like McLaren, you're talking about Compost Racing, you're talking about NASCAR, you're talking about Richmond Raceway. Look at all the directions that are converging on esport right now. So times are changing. NASCAR season kicks off tonight. So tonight is the beginning of the most cutthroat sim racing oval competition there is. Kenny Humpy, Michael Conti, Ray Alfalla, Ryan Lusa, you know, defending champs. These guys are the best of the best in oval racing. You're very welcome, Billy, and thank you for helping me create that line of it being about all for one, one for all. I give you a lot of credit to that. So, anyway, so that is coming up tonight. You can check that out. It will be live at iRacingLive.com. It'll be at their Facebook page. It'll be at NASCAR.com, it says. So this is one of the top promotions of what we do in our sim racing world. So if you're into that, that should be great entertainment. We already talked about the patch to Project Cars. Speaking of Daytona 500, and I'm sure a lot of you did watch the race, but Project Cars 2's community event is a Daytona 500 related thing. It's at Daytona in the Ford Fusion, running sunny conditions in the stock car, minimum upgrade of U100, and open setups. So it is that time of year. It is Daytona time. I do have one other thing I want to say about NASCAR real quick in regards to that kicking off of the championship tonight. Trading Paints, and if you're an iRacer, you know Trading Paints, they have their own power rankings. So if you want a little run-up on the top 10 guys competing in the series, you're going to get their little plug ranking Ryan Lusa as the #1 contender right now. ProSim has a channel too. Didn't want to take anything away from anybody. I'm not trying to include or exclude anybody in my thing there. Anyway, another game I want to try out. This could be a great Monday Fun Day title for me. Not really sim racing applicable, and I've mentioned it before, but here's a write-up at Hardcore Gamer about flying down the mountain on 2 wheels and a prayer in Descenders. And if you guys know me at all, you know I'm into cycling. I've done my share of every discipline of cycling there is: road, cyclocross, mountain, and even chairlift downhill mountain biking, which is different than just being a mountain biker. Done them all. Love it. I am a big lover of cycling, and I want to play this. I mean, obviously stamina and things are going to prevent it from being any kind of a simulation, but it could be as fun as mini a game, and I'm definitely going to try that one out. Power rankings. Wow, that was so important I have it twice. Next up, just really quickly, just to give you a little contrast to the whole AMD thing going on, but Intel unveils their discrete GPU prototype development. And I guess they've been through failures. They've actually hired the former Radian Technologies Group head, Raja Kaduri, to help in this design and moving everything forward. But we might see the next gen of computers being all-in-one, and the whole GPU cards that we've seen, it might not be necessary in the not-too-distant future, which could be saving money, could make things more simple. We'll have to see how that plays out in the future. Another one, we've talked about poor EA Games and the terrible things that have been going on, and the write-up after write-up about them bleeding $3.1 billion in stock value. Just various different problems. And to add to the list of problems, it's rumored that Lucasfilm is pulling after the Star Wars Battlefront debacle, failure, you could even call it. They're not happy with EA, and they're looking at other options, and that could be very significant. Probably talking one of the bigger titles and one of the bigger names, you know, partnerships. So that could have a distinct effect on EA in the future. And, you know, I'm sure at this point EA is taking a slap in the face and is really looking inward at what they need to do different. And I hope they have in the terms of their sim racing games, because in the past I have to give them credit for some games that I've really enjoyed. So next up, this gets back to who do I promote and who do I not promote Or do I just not even think or worry about it? But Driver61's put out a series of videos, and I've been a fan of his work, and he's always usually been mostly automotive. And he seems to be doing more and more sim racing stuff, which means do I now have to perceive him as a, quote, threat? I don't, and I use that wording very lightly. Do I promote my competition if they have no part in our community here? Or do I just give you guys everything I can possibly find? Anyway, he had a really cool video, and a lot of you mentioned this and sent it in, so I thank you for that. But questioning how realistic is VR sim racing to real life racing, and it's a great video. And if you want to hear his take, and you'll be hearing my take on similar things to that coming up fairly soon, but you can find out his thoughts, and you know, Driver61 is his YouTube channel. So yes, but if the news is my promotion, like CNN doesn't promote what MSNBC is doing. That's what I mean. I agree it's the news on one hand, but we're all doing the news. I don't know, Nutella. It's here. I'm presenting it. I just don't know where I draw the line, and if I even draw the line, it's just something that does occur to me. And, okay, that takes me to one other story. So I thank Spatial for making me make a bigger deal about 1.4 version of Project Cars. Dennis Lindblad mentioned Automobilista 1.5.8. Now, I talked about 1.5 and how that was the end of development from the guys at Riza when it came to Automobilista. And with that came a bunch of cool stuff in that particular update, new cars, the ice track, drifting content, things like that. And I guess they've expanded on to that with version 1.5.8. So here's a cool little video that was sent in to me by him showing some of the drifting in Automobilista. But again, I see a lot of people talk about it. It's one that I've touched upon, and I mention it in news from time to time. But I haven't given it a whole lot of love on the show, not for any reason other than just being behind and figuring out where do I start and where do I stop as far as coverage on the show. Yes, he is Dave Carr for the most part, but he seems to be doing more and more sim racing videos as well. Anyway, I just, you know, I bring it up because I wonder if any of you ever think, wow, is Sean just promoting his competition and biting himself in the foot? And it does occur to me as I continue to present the news, which is what we do, and we're just here to talk sim racing. And we do all have a common goal. Sorry. Tough to talk for 20 minutes when you're still not feeling all that well. Yeah, and he has great driver school videos, too. Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, I just, like anything else, I bring it up so you guys can have a more intimate involvement in how it all plays out and how I think about it. So anyway, there's a cool video here, and this video here is by Sinster7, just so you know, and I'm giving him credit where credit is due. And congratulations to Automobilista, and I'm looking forward to what's next out of them as well. And last thing on the news is MotoGP. We talk about the TT Isle of Man. Billy's been playing that motocross game. And today on Discord, sure enough, can't remember who said it, so I'm sorry. What it was there? There was this motorcycle sim. So, how cool would it be to play some TT Isle of Man on this? That would be cool. And of course it won't be perfect. Of course it won't be right. Motorcycle physics are really... I don't know if they'll ever be able to do motorcycle physics the way it's really driven. But I thought that was a great thought. And as we anticipate TT Isle of Man, I thought it was very relevant to what we're doing right now. So anyway, that does take me to the end of the show. One more thing. A little bird named Becky told me that one of our patron team members, one of our good viewers out there, Joa Antonia, it is your birthday. So happy birthday to you, and just know that somebody out there cares enough about you to email me and let me know so that I can give you a happy birthday this morning. And I hope you have a very great day and a great year. beyond that, what does that take us to? Really, all that I can talk about is last night, if you missed it, we had Monday Fun Day, Rocket League. Got to play some Rocket League. I've wanted to play this game forever. Over 29 million registered viewers. Esport competition. I wanted to know what it was all about. So we fired it up and had some good times doing it. I will probably be playing more of that on private moments. I don't know if I'll subject all of you to me playing Rocket League more extensively, but I can see this being one of those very, very cool games for me to do in the background when I'm just killing time or trying to clear my head. So that's going to do it for me today. Mitchie will be on the air with a really cool instructional video on, I believe he said the Renault 2.0. Don't hold me to that, or don't hold him to that. But that'll be coming up later today on this channel. Plus, he's doing something on his channel. I will probably be back. I got to talk to the gang. I might try to run a Porsche race in VR tonight. I don't know if I have enough time to make that happen. I don't know if my head can handle a full race in VR just yet. So maybe tonight's not the night. So don't hold me to that. But we'll be back tomorrow morning with a pit stop for sure. Tomorrow night with an Attack the Track in our SRS DTM Revival Series. And lots more going on now that I'm starting to feel a little better and get my momentum back. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. Hope you get out there and do some sim racing for yourself. Have a great time. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.